3 years off my whole life, I had been a complete degenerate that was hooked on smoking, drinking, and all these other shallow addictions, clubbing, you name it. I had no purpose in life, no plans for the future, and I was mentally stuck in a rut for years with no end in sight. But 2 years ago, I was able to do a complete 180 and fundamentally change who I am as a person. And you're probably thinking, oh wow, he finally locked in on self-improvement and he became a new and improved person after years of hard work or months of hard work. But that's not the case at all. See, it took me less than 24 hours to make that switch and become a completely new person. See, in this video, I want to talk to you about change and how change is piss easy. You see, most people think change is this really hard and grueling task that happens over years, months, or whatever. But in reality, change can happen in about 24 hours, 23 hours, 20 hours, 10 hours, 1 hour, and 5 minutes. And for my specific case, it took me 5 minutes. Well, more specifically, it took me one decision. And it was in this decision that I realized change is easy. Because if we look at what change fundamentally is, it is just a set of old habits, old beliefs, and an old identity changing into a new set of habits, a new set of beliefs, and a new identity. And the reason why people think change is hard is because of our biology and how our brain works. See, as you live through life and you do whatever routine you do daily, your brain is recognizing pattern. You wake up, you drink coffee, you go to work, you come back from work, you shower, you sleep. And on top of your routine, it goes much deeper than that. It goes into your psyche, your psychology. What habits do you have? What beliefs do you hold? What identity do you show in front of people? And all of these things, your brain is constantly optimizing. And what I mean is that once you have a set habit, a set belief, a set identity, your brain will do whatever it takes to maintain that set of habits, that set of beliefs, and that set of identity. And in the universe, this is called equilibrium, right? The universe always seeks balance. It always seeks equilibrium. And the reason we're hardwired to think this way is because it was most optimal for survival. If something was working, we didn't fuck with it. We wanted to keep doing what was working. This is how humans evolved and how humans adapted. So in a nutshell, our brains will always seek the most optimal and simple path to think. And what this means in the modern world is that your brain is constantly maintaining this identity you've set, whether you're a degenerate, whether you're a loser, whether you're a millionaire, whether you're a super disciplined David Goggins type of guy, or you're a Discord monk that talks to Discord kids all day. And this is because what our brains think is simple and most optimal is what we do in our life consistently. And what our brain believes is optimal or simple isn't random. You actually set that through consistent action and what you do every day. Like I said in the beginning, it's your habits, your beliefs, and your identity that sets this base that you will always revert back to. So it really doesn't matter what actions you're taking every day, whether it's good or bad. Whatever you're most consistent on is what your brain will naturally seek equilibrium to. So if I go to the gym every single day, after like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or even a month, my brain or my body is automatically going to be tailored to going to the gym. I'm going to be more inclined to go to the gym, and people will call this momentum, right? Same way if I eat junk food every day. I'm more naturally inclined to continue the streak of eating junk food every day, so on my 37th day, I don't really have any other desires than to just eat more junk food, right? And yes, this mechanism is essentially why change is so hard. Every time you decide to fight against this balance that's already been set, this momentum that's going against you, it takes extra effort. And most self-improvement gurus will tell you, you need to push hard through that momentum. You need to take action every day. It's going to be hard, but you need to push through. And yes, that works, but that's the hard way. Why would you choose to brute force your way out of this? Do something that's hard when something that's smarter, easier exists. And no, I'm not talking about taking shortcuts. It's not a shortcut. It is just a smarter and easier path to take as opposed to just brute forcing your way, which is what contributes to the belief that change is hard. See, the big difference between my journey to change and other people is that I understood these biological concepts and I leveraged them. I used it to actually make change easy. And that's what you're gonna be doing after this video. You see, the only thing you need to do to actually make change easy is to do something unorthodox. Do something different, do something weird, do something unusual. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, are you sure that's it? Why is it so simple? There has to be more to it than this. You've got to be lying. But no, that's what worked for me, and I'm no different to you, so it should work for you. See, the reason it works is because, let's go back to the biological concept, right? Our brain seeks the most optimal and simple path. But what is the most optimal and simple path? Well, it's the one that we've been consistently doing over time. And it's in this consistency that makes change hard, right? When you've been consistently doing bad things, doing a good thing or a new thing is obviously going to be hard after, unless you decide to create a disturbance in your routine. Not necessarily doing a good thing in a list of bad, but doing something different in a list of bad. So let's say you're eating junk food every day. All you have to do is something different. So instead of eating junk food on day 37, eat only bubblegum, or eat only rice, or just don't eat at all, or just do like a water fast. Do something weird, out of the ordinary, something that makes your brain think, what the fuck? The reason why is because this action of doing something unorthodox or doing something weird is what's going to create this rip, which then you need to follow through to create a new cycle, a new identity, a new set of beliefs, and a new set of habits. Because like I said, in order to change, it's all about having an old set of habits, old set of beliefs, old set of identities, and then moving into a new set of habits, a new set of beliefs, and a new set of identities, right? So effectively, all you have to do is note down what you're doing every day and just do something weird. And yes, I know you're still probably thinking, oh, fuck off, this shit doesn't work, you're lying, this is some guru bullshit. But no, it actually works. This is what I did. And I'll even share you a story from a book I read called Reality Transurfing, where I learned this principle from. In the book, it tells you to imagine two scenarios. The first scenario where you're walking down a dark alleyway and you meet 5 gang members or gangsters with metal pipes, bats, and knives, and they're just mean mugging you. They're staring at you while you approach them because you need to get at the other side of the alley, but these guys are in the middle. So whether you like it or not, you're just gonna have to walk through them. But as you approach them, the whole gang starts to approach you, to corner you. And then the leader of this little gang starts to pull on your shirt and puts pressure on you and demands you to give him all your money and all your belongings. And you obviously don't want to die. You do as he says. You basically give all your valuable items, your money, your wallet, whatever. And after you do that, you get beat up by all 5 of these guys for good measure. And after you're all bloody, concussed, broken nose and everything, you're basically hurt. And in the book, they explain a different approach to achieve an outcome that we actually desire. So in scenario 2, the same thing happens. You're walking down this dark alley, you see these 5 gangsters, and then the gang leader approaches you, the whole gang approaches you, and then grabs you by the shirt. But in this moment, instead of doing what the gang leader tells you to do, like what most people would do, you decide to do something unorthodox. So as the gang leader has you by your shirt, you just decide to seize and become a retard. And then all the gang leaders start going, what the fuck is going on? And it's in that moment where they're like, what the fuck is going on? You just gun it and you sprint. And it was in that split second of time where you decided to do something unorthodox that these 5 gang members were stunned and locked in place. They were frozen, like, what the fuck? I've never seen this before. And it was in that opportunity where there was a rip and escape that was created, which then you can capitalize on by running away. In scenario 2, it was the exact same thing, exact same place, exact same people, but you didn't get beat up, you didn't lose your money, and you didn't lose your whole thing, right? All because you decided to do something unorthodox. And this goes back to change, right? The only reason I was able to change was because I applied this concept in my life. I was stuck in a cycle of degeneracy, drinking, smoking, and clubbing, but one day I decided to just stay at home. I didn't text any of my friends. I was literally living a life of like a nerd. I didn't study. I was just doing nothing all day. And because of that, it created this rip and this opportunity in my routine, which I was able to capitalize and take action on, where then I was able to change, right? I was able to become a new person. I was able to quit my degenerate habits. I was able to get into self-improvement. I was able to upgrade every aspect of my life and become a completely brand new person. And it really is that simple, guys. Change is easy. All you have to do is do something unorthodox, do something different. Genuinely speaking, the person you've always wanted to be, the person that lives in purpose, that lives in fulfillment, the person that you dream about every night, the person that actually wakes up excited with a clear mission and clear purpose is literally one step away. And in order to take that step, you just need to do something unorthodox, do something different, and do something weird. And to take that step, all you need to do is something weird, something unorthodox, something unusual. And when you decide to do that, it's going to create a rip in your routine, and I want you to follow that rip, redesign and remold the new identity that you want to become. And if change is still too complicated for you to understand, click the first link in the description below and it'll take you to a video where I show you how to make change fast and easy, because I will personally help you change into a brand new person with the same methods I used all those years ago to actually change into someone new. But if you're not serious about change and you're not ready to invest in yourself, then I would recommend you clicking the second link in the description, which is my free community where you can just talk to me, talk to other members, just socialize and learn new things about change. we can all potentially work together to make change easy. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching to the end. I'll see you in the next video.